Well, hello, folks, and welcome to Unit 3. After this week, we are roughly halfway done with the course, so thank you for sticking with me. And as I promised, we will get into much more detail regarding leadership and ethical decision making. Our focus for this week is really centers on ethical decisions, creating what we call a values-driven culture, and that's applicable obviously from leadership on down. And you will also work on developing a vision statement, a mission statement, as well as a value statement for the company, meaning for our customers, to guide our leaders, how our employees will be taken care of, and so on. And this will become part of the newly merged company between UWare and Pale Denim, and how they will operate based on all these visions and statements and such. So after discussing all that and talking about that during the chat, your assignments then will focus on these elements. For your discussion board, you will once again click on a scenario link. You'll need to identify what ethical theories can be used to create a values-driven culture. Now remember, we discussed some of this in week 2. We'll continue our conversation in week 3 as well. We'll also discuss what we call the ethical decision-making models that are available out there. And relax, I will present those during the chat, so you will have examples of what we call ethical decision-making models, how you use them, when you should use them, and you determine which one are the most applicable. So you'll use all that and discuss, based on these models, this is what I favor, this is what I think is valuable for the organization moving forward. After you complete your Unit 3 discussion board, we're going to move into our Unit 3 individual project. Now, this one's a little different. It is a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation with speaker notes. Now, for those of you not comfortable with preparing PowerPoint slides, relax. They're obviously similar to my chat slides with the addition now of speaker notes. If you're familiar with how to apply speaker notes, it's really simple. Great. Disregard my conversation for the next 15 seconds. If you're not familiar on how to apply speaker notes, and it is critical that you will apply 200 plus words of speaker notes per slide to your presentation for your Unit 3 individual project. If you're not familiar with it, I will provide you a link on a video that is, I'm going to say 5 to 7 minutes long, on how to apply speaker notes. I assure you it is easy to do even if you've never done it before. And the best way to think of speaker notes are this. When you have a main slide, you will put up bullet points and maybe short sentences. Your audience is not going to read 200 to 300 words on a main slide. Visualize yourself now presenting to an audience. They will read your bullet statements and try to make sense of that. What they'll be doing is listening to what you're saying. That's where the speaker notes come in. Only you can see the speaker notes. Obviously, you'll do that with the assignment you submit. But for presentation purposes, the speaker notes are in either index cards or sheets of paper that you're holding while you're presenting. The audience will only see the main slides with your bullet statements or short sentences. Please, if you have 300 words and you've written basically an essay on your main slides, you did it all wrong. And why do I say that? Go sit in an audience where someone is reading verbatim 300 words. You will have slept through or ignored them halfway through that discussion. They want to get the meat and potatoes, look at those bullet statements, and go on from there. You will read those speaker notes, maybe not verbatim, but you will paraphrase them on what you're talking about on each slide. Well, that's the intent here. So when you design those speaker notes, you're just typing them in as though you're speaking to the audience, so that when I read them and anyone else would read them, you know what you're talking about are the relevant topics on that slide. When you go to the next slide, you'll have a new page with bullets and short sentences, as well as speaker notes. Excuse me. So what you'll need to do is create all that. So relax. What you will create for your individual project is a vision statement, a mission statement, as well as a value statement for the newly merged company. You'll also need to address, how do these statements serve our customers? How do they support our leaders in executing on these visions and statements? And how do they support our employees at the newly merged company? Then the last task for that assignment will be for you to discuss and tell the CEO how should they communicate those individual statements so that they're relevant and important to everyone involved. Well, that's it. It sounds like a lot, folks, but as I always say, break down each task. You'll be able to get through it all. Again, now that we're wrapping up after our Unit 3 chat, we're about halfway done with the course, so, we're shortly looking at that downhill slide. Thank you for joining in, listening to us, and engaging, obviously, in our course room, and I'll see you in week 4. Take care, folks.